I'm going to check this out because it's a creature challenge, and apparently he's had an update to his lion-tiger debate. Why tiger versus lion debate was an IQ test everyone failed. I am not entirely sure. Is he saying his last video was bait, or is he saying that people don't agree with him? I'm just curious. Because it's I didn't agree. I just did a quick AI search, and it was just, well, I think it's not accurate, but I'm just checking it out.
People don't truly know lions or tigers. They just know their propaganda with fur. Yeah, that's the problem. Apparently, when the internet isn't lying, it's busy failing basic biology. The lion versus tiger debate has officially become an IQ test that proves 99% of the internet has zero critical thinking skills. You don't believe me? Let's take a test right now. What is the largest living wild big cat? All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you guess a Siberian tiger, then you would be incorrect. A Siberian tiger is actually smaller than a South African lion on average.
So he's doing it again. Even though you can search it up, and it is saying that the tigers are bigger.
And if you're genuinely shocked by that, congratulations. You found out one of the reasons why this video exists. I'm here to correct that, because you know what? People don't actually care about the best data available. They really just care about whatever stat that makes their favorite animal sound unbelievable. And these
well, that's the thing. It's just like he's doing this because he focuses. He has a leg in the race. He probably absolutely loves lions. Me, I could care less. It's just a creature. It's just an animal. They're both big cats. So, but it's funny how the way he talks sounds completely biased, like he's coming at it from one way, and he's enraged that people aren't buying what he's selling. That he sounds like he's just a little upset. So now he's calling everyone retarded for not following in line, even though most people can do a quick Google search. Or for me, it's just like, I've seen tigers, I've seen lions, and it's obvious which one's bigger. Just it's normally obvious.
Constant delusions are ruining just how terrifying these animals actually are. A tiger is built like nature weaponized silence. They can jump the height of an Asian elephant, drag bovids through the jungle, and produce a historic man-eater that flatlined, I kid you not, 436 people. And the lion? They've been documented dragging buffalo carcasses, winning tug-of-wars with Nile crocodiles, and fighting off entire hyena clans like they're playing Animal Kingdom GTA. Yeah, these cats never needed your propaganda. You make them less impressive by replacing biology with fan fiction. And you know what? This is personal for me. Big cats are one of the reasons why I got into biology in the first place. In fact, that interest alone carried me enough to get a degree in it. And, by the way, have done a lot of field work involving big cats. And I'd be damned if I let the internet reduce two of my favorite animals into something they are not. And
But that's the thing. By him making these videos, he's just adding into it. Just let people believe what they want to believe. In the end, you're not going to change anything by having your biases present. If you enjoy big cats, then let the big cats stand strong. Allow people to have a team. Allow people to have a cat that they prefer. You don't need to call everyone retarded for looking things up and having a bias, even though historically, every time there has been a competition between a lion and a tiger, when it's just one lion and one tiger, well, like 45% of the time, the tiger has won out. Historically. Well, is it skewed in one way or another? We don't know. We weren't alive during that point in time. Those times are have gone away. But that's the thing. It's just like he's got a little too much skin in this race. He needs to just step back and let people have their opinions.
Y'all don't even know why these animals are impressive. You just want to know who wins. And you know what? Fine. You want a verdict? I'll be the only wildlife YouTuber to give you a definitive verdict based on actual anatomy, biomechanics, and actual scientific research. So here are the rules. We're going to be assuming both the lion and tiger are your average wild males. And this confrontation is in an open, grassy terrain where both are aware, fully committed, and no one's backing down. So in a head-on collision, is the lion or tiger walking away? way? Well, to get that answer, we first have to amputate the garbage data, anecdotal BS, and the historical hallucinations people treat like peer-reviewed science. I mean, seriously, every time this topic gets brought up, some armchair historian crawls out of their basement and drops the Roman Colosseum argument like it's the final word. They'll be like, actually, tigers be—
Well, it's not just the Roman Colosseum, it's also like the circuses. It's like it's been throughout. Yes, it wasn't the Roman Colosseum, but it was a pack of lions versus a pack of tigers.
lions in ancient Rome. Oh, perfect. Here we go again with the ancient hearsay from a civilization that sweetened their wine with lead and thought the Earth was the center of the universe. Yeah, great source. Let me just throw away modern anatomy, biomechanics, and deductive reasoning because some guy thousands of years ago in sandals allegedly saw a big cat fight during the lead poisoning era. Yeah, people bring up Rome like Augustus Caesar himself was standing in the sand with a clipboard taking blood work. No, relying on Roman accounts to settle a biological debate is the medical equivalent of trying—
But that's the thing. It's not just Roman accounts. It's going as far back as like just, well, less than a century ago, where circus performers were having the big cats fight one another. That's the thing. It's just like he's coming at it with his bias, but I think he's doing the exact same thing he did the last time. I'm just gonna skip
data set
forward.
was recorded the early 1920s. What? Seriously, to all the wildlife biologists out there, what are you guys doing? We can land a rover on Mars, but our best average weight for one of the most famous animals on Earth is over 100 years old. It is absolutely insane that this is our best data, but it is what we have. Just cope and move on. Now let's bring in the opponents. The South African lion. How does it stack up? Well, a massive study that measured over 116 wild male lions from Southern Africa, a sample size that you can actually trust from this century, showed they average between 410 to 430 pounds. Do you see the punchline yet? The Bengal tiger and South African lion are the exact same size. In fact, the marginal difference between them is so statistically insignificant that a heavy lunch could tip the scales either way. So there is no massive weight advantage here. And this is exactly the moment the internet fails the IQ test. Because when mass is equal, weight doesn't decide the winner. Weight just tells you how much animal is there. It does not tell you how the animal is built, and it definitely doesn't tell you how it fights. You know what does? Anatomy. And if you guys claim to use your brains half as much as you say you do, you'll stick to the end of this section, because this rate—
We need to bring the Colosseum back. That must have been fun. Honestly, I could easily see how much fun that would be. I'm not into blood sports. I'm not even into sports to begin with, but I can understand the fascination, because I can still understand the fascination people have with, well, sports teams. Even though I don't understand sports, I still understand the fascination people have with it.
Here is where 99% of people suffer from what I call same cat disease. They look at a lion and a tiger and think, well, they're both big cats. They both have claws. They both have teeth. Same animal, different coat. Wrong. Very wrong, actually. Calling a tiger and lion the same animal with different coats is like calling a sniper rifle and shotgun the same weapon just because both of them are guns and both of them make funerals happen.
I don't think that's a good comparison. I think you would have to go with like maybe a car and then like a modern day sniper rifle. That would be it. They're both sniper rifles, but they're both completely different kinds. They're different calibers. They're different. Like that. I think that would be the better comparison. Or you do like what would be a shotgun where it's a closed pellets. One's pellets and one's like, I forget the term for it, where it's just one. I don't know. But yeah, they'd just be a munition change.
These cats are evolutionary opposites.
Because the saying it's a shotgun, that's like a completely different species. That's like saying a cat and then the shotgun would be a dog. Like a completely different, completely not even in the same wheelhouse.
To solve two completely different problems. A tiger is a solitary ambush predator. It hunts—
and if you were to say a knife, no, the knife would be a bird. Completely different species. It's no longer a mammal at that point.
Alone, eats alone, and fights alone. If it takes serious damage, a fractured paw, a deep cut, whatever, it doesn't have a team to come help it. If it can't hunt, it starves. Period. Its entire strategy is built on one idea. Hit first, hit clean, get control, and then end the fight before it becomes expensive. And when you strip away all that fur and look at the x-rays, the tiger's body says the exact same thing. Did y'all know it has a noticeably longer body than the lion and a much more flexible spine? In fact, its spine is just so much better at coiling flailing, twisting, launching, and slipping through space in a way that makes lions look stiff by comparison. So biomechanically, the tiger is the more agile cat, and anyone pretending otherwise is just coping. And that agility is a real advantage in the right setting. You know, in a forest cover and dense habitat, in an ambush, its best fight is the one that starts before the victim even knows there is a fight. That is kind of the entire point of their design. Turn a shadow into violence. And guess what? The arms tell the same story. You can see the tiger's fighting style written directly into its limbs. You see, in anatomy, there's something called a humerodial index, which compares the length of your forearm to your upper arm, you know, bicep area. The tiger has a low index, meaning it has a noticeably shorter forearm relative to its upper arm. Yeah, it'd be repping that short forearm. And you know why? Because tigers evolved in dense jungles, they don't run down prey over long distances. They ambush and latch on. And in biomechanics, those short, heavily muscled forearms actually mean more explosive movement and speed at the paws. So translation, the tiger is built like a spring-loaded assassin. They rear up on their hind legs and throw both paws at the same time like nature invented a felony boxer. And visually, the tiger has the cooler highlight reel. I'll give it that, but looking cool is not the same as being stable. The second the tiger rears up, it gets access to both paws, yes, but it also raises its center of gravity. And that means it's easier to off-balance if something compact, angry, and shoulder-heavy drives into its chest. Hey, that's not me hating, that is just physics being rude. Now, compare that to the lion. A lion lives a completely different nightmare. It is a frontline soldier to nature's bar fight we call the African
Let's
savannah.
get to the point.
It's it a shorter forearm for explosive striking, but the lion's forearm and upper, the ability to pack more muscle and have amazing isometric stability, is almost exclusively used as a final kill shot once the opponent is already pinned or physically dominated. But that's the catch. The tiger's cleanest kill mechanic requires positional success first.
That's
it
funny.
needs enough
That's
control
funny.
to stabilize the neck and make the bite matter. But a lion is not a tiger's prey. It does not have that flat tabletop back like a deer that a tiger can just coast on while biting like a vampire. A lion will turn around and start to fight the tiger with the exact same weapons. And that changes the math. Now the tiger's not just trying to solve prey, it's solving another armed predator. The lion fights uglier. They wrestle, drive forward, and bite all across the body. The neck, shoulders, flank, hips, hindquarters, whatever's open is getting audited. Basically damages the machine until it stops working. They can absolutely rear up too, obviously, but the body is very top heavy and favors stepping in, staying planted, and grappling. That is why lions fight grounded. One paw strikes or grabs, while the other plants the animal firmly to the dirt. Less flashy, more stable. The tiger's throwing combinations, the lion's just trying to collapse the pocket. So I think I made my point clear. If this is a tiger ambushing a lion from cover, that is a completely different conversation. That is not a lion versus tiger scenario. That is tiger versus not knowing where the tiger is. Congratulations, you discovered assassination. But in this actual topic, in an open field, both are aware, both are fully committed, no ambush and retreating. Once you remove all the mythology and force the fight into a biomechanical problem, there is only one answer you circle on this multiple choice test if you want to pass: the lion. So yep, that's about it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.
Again, he's literally just doing the same exact thing he did last time. I don't know, because again, he's putting too much emphasis on the tiger. Clearly he has a favorite, because if you were gonna do the fact that you would put them both in their instances, you would have the lion and tiger fight in the tiger's home turf, and then you would have the lion and tiger fight in the, well, like you did in this one, the tiger's home turf. Who would win? Obviously, in the tiger's home turf, the tiger will most likely win because he's an ambush predator. In the lion's home turf, I still think like the lion won't do as good because lions are primarily pack hunters. That's just how they are. They aren't solitary creatures like a tiger. They, like, you have one-on-one. A tiger knows how to fight one-on-one without a pack behind its back. A lion relies on the pack. Again, the tiger has a little more agility and mobility, which if you have a stiff lion, it's not going to be able to make as much quick movements as the tiger. Again, I don't know why I'm even trying to argue with this guy. He clearly has a bias and a preference. I don't care either way. I think seeing tigers in their natural habitat would be awesome, and seeing lions in their natural habitat is awesome. But I wouldn't want to put them in a cage to fight. Maybe at one point we'll have it in AI to where we can go into like a virtual simulation and it'll have all the data and everything that we can just go in there and watch like Coliseum things play out right in front of us, all in the digital landscape. So that way all these fictional questions will be answered, and then people will then claim that, oh no, an AI has a bias. The AI was programmed to make sure this animal won at this point in time. Just how it's gonna go. It's how it's gonna go. It's how it always happens. It's how it always happens. But yeah, I mean, it was nothing but the same thing over again. I think he's really upset at the fact that, well, people like tigers. People like tigers because they're literally just a big house cat. They are literally a big house cat. The lions aren't exactly like that. Their mane makes them stand out. Unless you're looking at the lionesses. Those are literally big house cats as well, just like tigers. But the lions are different. They're unique only because of their mane, primarily. Primarily because of their mane. But that's about it. That's about it.
You guys see the video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait like that.